guys, this is Lord Chael speaking on behalf of our show sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies. They allow you to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land so you can officially call yourself a lord or a lady. Established Titles is not just about your ego. You also get to do some good. In addition to your new fancy title, Established Title supports global charities like One Tree Planet and Trees for the Future to help with the afforestation effort. Your title pack gets you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land in a private estate in Scotland. Your certificate features a unique plot number where you can see the exact location of your land. And right now, Established Titles is holding 200 plots of land right next to mine. So come join me in the Bad Guy Inc. Kingdom. Getting this certificate even allows you to officially change your name to Lord or Lady. Put it on your credit card, put it on your plane tickets, or if you're so inclined, put it on your dating profile. Makes for a great last-minute gift, and there's even couples packs that come with adjoining plots of land. Established Titles is having a great limited-time sale. Go to establishedtitles.com/Chael to save 10% off today. Remember to use the promo code Chael, or just click on the link below. Alex Pereira, new champion, #1 contender, Khamzat Chimaev. What do you think, guys? I got to tell you, it doesn't sit well with me. Doesn't sit well with me. I'm into the fight. I'm into whatever Chimaev's doing. Pereira's made a new fan out of me. It doesn't sit well with me. How would you like to hear that you could become a #1 contender at 185 pounds? We're going to find somebody to become a #1 contender at 85 pounds that did not go through Adesanya. I don't like it. Do you? You got to go through him. If he is willing and able, he's ready to turn around, he's ready to get back in there. You haven't offered to him where he turned it down. Okay, Adesanya is a player and he's on the board. You got to go through him. And maybe you didn't do it successfully. Don't misinterpret me. I don't care if it's Robert Whittaker. He went in there, he stepped in there twice. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Paulo Costa. I mean, I get that there's some boys. But if you're going to tell me that we can have a #1 contender that never dealt with Adesanya, I'm going to have a problem with that. It's going to be slight. But I will share with you that I would tip my head. I would wonder how. I would wonder why. There was a negotiation. If there was something turned behind the scenes, good enough for me. I believe in forfeits. You don't want to forfeit, we don't got to fight. Let's move on. We use diplomacy. If that doesn't happen and somebody goes around Adesanya that did not get in there with Adesanya, I'm going to have a problem with that. I'm not going to understand it. Dana White's exact words were quite simply, I wouldn't rule out an immediate rematch. We can live with that, right, guys? Because Dana can't go make that on the spot. You got to talk to guys, and you got commissions. It's this whole thing. He's not going to go out there and commit himself and then look like a fool. He goes and says an immediate rematch, and then one of the guys doesn't want to do it. Now he's got to come. I mean, it's just one of those things. I thought that it was handled perfectly, and I think that that's all that we need to hear, because I wouldn't rule it out either. The rematch, I wouldn't rule that out. I strongly felt that Glover should have got the rematch with Yuri Prochazka. I get that you guys don't want to see the fight. What I'm saying is I do think that Glover should have gotten the rematch because of the math. Glover was 30 seconds away from retaining the championship, and he would never in his career see Prochazka again. He did not need any more points. He didn't need any more sequences. He just had to run out the clock. So I believe that makes for a wonderful night. Great moment for Prochazka, but it also tells us who the #1 contender is. The #1 contender, we don't have to wonder. We already saw it. It's the guy that was 30 seconds away from beating the current champ. All right. But I do feel that with Izzy Adesanya. There was a line that came out today at DraftKings, if you guys haven't seen it, superposing that they're going to do the rematch. Adesanya was a favorite, sizable. 2-1 right now. Broad stroke. Slightly under, but I just shared with you when this fight actually got announced, he was a 2.5-1. When the fight went off 48 hours ago, Adesanya was a 2-1. He's back to a 2-1. People saw it. They think that he's a better fighter. I'm just sharing with you. If you're going to tell me that we're going to bring somebody in, if that somebody dealt with Adesanya, if that somebody stepped to the plate, to the big scary guy at some point, I'm okay with that. They don't have to beat him. But to go around him and come into a matchup that you find favorable, listen, everything I just said, I would say regardless of situation, save one exception. If somebody had been going after Pereira before the fight, I give him a pass. If somebody was trying to get in Pereira's wheelhouse, which is always a hedge that you must make as a fighter, you must take that risk no matter what the underdog is. When a guy is an underdog, nobody's looking at him. He is fair game. You should be the one attacking him. It should be his personal. You should be in his face. If he loses, go deal with it. Go. You're in there with a former number one contender. If he wins, you're now the guy. And how the world missed that, particularly when the guy is undefeated and has beaten the champion twice, it was a miss. And I have seen people find their balls and come out after the fact because they think that it's a good matchup. But you're going to look like a guy that did just that. Saw the matchup, want to be a bully, you think you can go deal with it, and now you found your balls. If you didn't deal with Adesanya in the past, I'm not supporting it. And secondly, where were you on Friday? Why would have you not hedged? Of course Pereira's going to win. He's already beaten him twice, and when he gets done, he's going to deal with me. Great, we've got a story to tell. Pereira probably would have gone to the press conference, backed it up. The fans would have got behind it. When it comes out after a fact and a guy gets taken down, he gets wrist rode, and I don't know, this guy looks a little sloppy on the ground, and I'm pretty good at the ground. I mean, I'm just sharing with you. I don't know that there's a bravado and a courage in that. Let's say you go ahead and do the match. You get down there and you take Pereira down and you win the championship. I mean, what are you going to, you're going to stand up and cheer and put the belt around your waist? And then go to the press conference and answer the big question, how come you didn't deal with Adesanya? How about we just take that care of first? That's all that I would offer. Why would we not just take care of that first? We're seeing something very similar going on at 170 pounds right now. Leon came out over the weekend. Instead, I could see a situation where I would give Masvidal the opportunity before Kamaru Usman. Now, I bring this to you. Leon did nothing wrong, right? He's getting a million questions. He's getting missed about the three-piece in the soda. He did nothing wrong by answering this. But I found it interesting because when they did a cameo of Kamaru Usman's in a suit and coming out of the suit, his hand's in a cast. What the hell was that about? I haven't heard anybody comment on that. Volkanovski was rumored to get a hand surgery. It's none of your guys' even business, and you knew about it. You were going to take his belt away and give a featherweight championship to two other guys. He didn't even confirm it. Kamaru Usman, who's scheduled to be a number one contender against Leon in England, big, massive news, pops on. He's got a cast on his hand, and nobody even mentioned it. Why not? And when I say it could have been a brace, it could have been a sling, but he has something in his hand. You guys might remember, but Kamaru had surgery on that hand. He had that prior to the Leon fight, so he dealt with it. There was a story there. He pops on camera. He's re-wrapped up. Is that the reason that Leon's thinking maybe I need a different opponent? I don't have the answers to the question. I'm sharing with you guys that they're very interesting, and you guys that ask the questions ask the wrong questions. That's what should have been asked. Is that why Leon's talking about somebody else? Now, just to finish that story, what Leon said is I would do it with Kamaru, or with Masvidal, if Masvidal, no later than January, takes on Gilbert Burns and beats him. He goes through Gilbert Burns just to show the world that he can do it, to make this fight worth my time. I'm adding a couple of words to Rocky there. He said I would do it, and I could see it in front of Usman, which I think ties into the fact that Usman's got something going on with his hand, and I can't prove that beyond a cameo, but somebody should have asked the question. I shouldn't be the one bringing it up right now. There's something very important about dealing with the guy, and I got to tell you that. Masvidal's got business with Leon. Leon's got business with Masvidal. We got no problem here. You're a really good grappler, right? I'll use Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel did not do this. But I'll share with you, if Bo Nickel goes on social media, starts calling out Pereira right now, all good, as long as you did it Friday night. If you're calling a guy out who got taken down and held there by a kickboxer because you see that as a weakness, right? I saw a bunch of heavyweights do this too. Francis and Surreal are these two unbeatable guys that everybody's scared to death of. They go to the ground, they're rolling around. It looks like they've got a deficit there, and all of a sudden these guys find their balls. It doesn't work that way, and you're not going to get over on us. There's a strategy and a game to this, and coming out after the fight, I get that that's part of it. I do understand it's part of it. The real move was to have been there Friday. Why would have you not taken Pereira? Did you think you were going to get Adesanya next anyway? Is that what you thought? Why would you not have put everything on Pereira? He's beaten him twice. Take the risk. Be the only one. It was an obvious move. None of you did it. Don't come in now and act like you're Popeye that just ate its spinach. If you didn't have the spinach and the balls on Friday,